His name is...
It's John Bunday. It is Friday, November 28th, but yesterday, Thursday 27th, I beat game 59, and that is Retro City Rampage DX Plus on the PC. So Retro City Rampage, a game that's been around for maybe 15 years now, but maybe even nearer 20. Either way, it's an indie game that I feel like a lot of people probably have and got, like, you know, on like a PS3, 360, Vita, like 3DS, Wii, whatever, and maybe not really played that much of. But I got on Steam ages ago and I was like, finally, like, okay, I'm going to play this. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So if people don't know, imagine GTA, but 8-bit and with a ton of 80s reference, like loads of 80s references. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I found though that I couldn't play it for too long in single sittings. In other words, like for example, if I played it for like been playing for like an hour, like I'd be like, okay, I need to like stop. I always came back to it. I wanted to beat it, but I found like trying to do long play sessions was a bit difficult. I think it's because the game is a bit rinse and repeat, but then that's true of GTA. It's just so it's but it's the references of what they've got there that is what is like entertaining. So yeah, I definitely recommend giving it a try. A lot of you probably own it, even if you don't realize. So yeah, and there's also the sequel Shakedown Hawaii, I think it is it's called, which is 16-bit instead. I need to try that. I've got that on Steam as well, so I'll give that a go at some point. But yeah, Retro City Rampage DX Plus, because it has so many ports, so they keep adding things on. But yeah, definitely worth a try. So give it a go. It is Wednesday, the 17th of December, and game 61 has just been beaten, and it is The Pathless on the PC. So this is the, as a recording, Club 52 game of the month. I don't know if when this goes out, if we would have had the live stream. Maybe not, because this the live stream is going to be in January, and I want to get this out before the end of the year to like, because this is going to be the last roundup video I'm going to do. Not necessarily this one, as in this game, as in the video you're watching right now. Anyway, what is The Pathless? So it's picked by Paul, aka Ignorfner, for Club 52, and it is a game in which you play as a hunter who has been tasked with trying to restore balance to the land because a person who calls themselves the Godslayer has cursed the Tall Ones. And it's your job to undo that curse and restore peace to the land. So this game is like has vast open areas, and each there are like 5 areas. One of them is pretty small, but that's the intro area. But the other 4, so each have one of the cursed tool ones, which is the boss battle. That is the only combat in the game are the boss battles. As you go around the land, you have to go and find light tokens so that you can put into these towers to then like pin down the boss so that you can go and attack it. But then you can get extra light tokens to go and get an extra ability from the boss once it's been beaten and the curse removed. There's also collectibles you can find to give yourself the ability to, because you have, as you travel through the game, this eagle. And as you get more collectibles, these like light, not light tokens, but like, but they're kind of like light tokens, but these other light square things, then you have the ability to do extra flaps with the eagle, because your eagle will like allow you to glide, but then you can also like go up higher. But as you fill up a bar, then you get an extra flap that you could do before you have to rest on the ground. I really enjoyed this game. It can get a bit repetitive because you are pretty much doing the same actions. The boss battles are different, at least the start of them, but as you go through them are different. But the areas are intriguing, interesting, very artistic, some great background music, and the Godslayer is voiced by Troy Baker. I wasn't expecting that. You'll understand if you play the game. And the hunter was it Louise Bailey, no, sorry, Laura Bailey, who I feel like I know that name from somewhere, but yeah, I feel like it's a game you should definitely try. I got it on sale, but to 100% the game with all achievements took me about 13 to 14 hours. So definitely got value for money, I think, and it's definitely worth giving a try. It's all on all modern platforms, I think, so it's definitely worth giving a go. It is Friday, the 26th of December, and game 62 is finished, and it is Blasphemous on the PC. Merry Christmas. Yes, so this might be the final game of the year. I've been playing something else, which a Game Boy game, so maybe I might get that finished before the end of the year. We'll see. So, but Blasphemous. Oh, before I get to that, there's probably like game 60 was a Mega CD RPG, Eternal Blue. So that has a video in case of people wondering where that number went. Anyway, so Blasphemous. It's Souls like Metrovania. I got this part of a bundle a little while ago, and because Ollie, aka 8-Bit Boy UK, talks so fondly about the series, I was like, okay, give it a try. He also was the one that recommended Morbid 7 Acolytes, which I really enjoyed playing. So gave Blasphemous a go, and yeah, there are times where I was getting a bit frustrated with it, but once you kind of figure out the timings for the parries, and you figure out the enemy patterns, and you also then get some upgrades and things, yeah, the game becomes really enjoyable. There's a lot of content here. There's 3 different endings. I'll go ending B, which is technically the bad ending, but to be honest, I've played so much of the game, I'm happy with what I've done, and if I feel like coming back to it, I'll try and get a different ending rather than doing more. Yeah. Because I put over 20 hours in this game, I'm ready for something else, if I'm honest. It was like, I was staying up till after midnight playing this, kind of like times. That's how much it got its hooks into me. But yeah, it's an easy recommendation, and because the second one's out, this game I think goes on sale quite often. So yeah, Blasphemous, definitely give it a try. It is Tuesday, December 30th, but 2 days ago, I think it was on Sunday, the 28th of December, I finished game 63, and that is Ninja Gaiden Shadow DX on the Game Boy Color. So this is a DX fan hack of the original Ninja Gaiden Shadow for the Game Boy. So in other words, someone's taken the old black and white game and then given it a color hack, which you can download and play if you want to give it a try. It's like you are having to hack the original ROM, so just FYI. And yeah, I've never played the original game, and I've never actually really played much Ninja Gaiden. I've never beaten one before, but I liked the color hack, or the look of the color hack so much. I thought I'd give this a try, and yeah, it was a great game. It's only 5 stages, and the game does kind of get drawn out a bit longer because the bosses can be really spongy. Like all the enemies, the rest of the enemies of the game are just one-hit kills, but the bosses take a lot of hits to defeat. Anyway, but yeah, otherwise the color hack is really good. Like, the colors, are just gorgeous, and I could honestly see this being an official, like, re-release of the game. Like, if a way, I think they should see if they can get this done by Tecmo. I think it's they should see if they can get it officially released, because it's that I think it's that good of a job that they've done here. But yeah, so it's Ninja Gaiden. I mean, it's like I say, it's 5 stages, and the way it works is you have about 3 areas. So you have an area where you get through it and then if you die, you get back to the start of that area, not the start of the stage, but the start of the area that you were on. If you get game over, then you can continue, or sorry, use a continue, and then that'll take you back to the beginning of the stage overall. As far as I could tell, there are unlimited continues because there was never any numbers next to continues. So what I did was, because I played it over the course of several days, because children. So if I had to stop, I would then next time I played, because I'm playing it on an original Game Boy Color, I would then use the level select cheat to get back to the beginning of the stage I was on. So it was just as if I've got a game over and use a continue. So there's no score. The only thing would be is if you have managed to defeat the bosses earlier without losing any lives, then you could actually have a good stock of lives because you can pick some up during the game. Otherwise, you just have to stock 2. Yeah. So, like I say, I think it's a game you really should check out. I think it's like the original is like, I think actually probably a hidden gem of the console, if I'm being honest. People probably goes Ninja Gaiden is not a hidden gem, but like as someone who had a Game Boy since a kid, I never tried it, and to me it was really good. And so 63 is the final game of the year because tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and I really doubt I'm going to get a chance to play more between now and then. No, I'm not even going to try to. I have started another game, but that's an RPG, so that's no way that's going to be beaten before midnight. So 63 games. I think I've done pretty well for the year. I also managed, so not only did I finish the 52 game challenge, but also beat the 12 RPG challenge. So then we're going into 2026. And so I tried to mix things up. Like I did the 52 challenge the first year, then I added in the 12 RPG challenge back for 2024, continued to 2025. Now that I bookended it, with Luna, those who saw the Luna video, that was the final game of the 12 RPG challenge for this year. So I will play RPGs next year. I'm not necessarily going to try and beat 12, we'll see. But what I am going to do is 10 pledges. So other YouTubers have talked about this before, but that's where you pledge to complete 10 games in the course of the year. It's not like one per year. It's not one per month. It's not like the 12 RPG challenge. It's that these are 10 games that you say you will beat over the course of the year. So I have made my list, and it's in no particular order. I will not be playing in this order. It's just the ones that I thought of. I write them down. So people probably think, oh, there might be like really long games, for example, like I don't know, like RPGs, but no. So it's just games that I haven't got around to playing and been seeing my backlog for a while and I want to get through. So, and the games are Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I mean, I've beaten Ocarina of Time a couple of times, as a kid, but I've got Master Quest for the GameCube, and it's what I've been saying for years that I've wanted to actually go and play the game this way. So that is on the list for the coming year. Metal Gear Solid 4 for the PS3, game that has never been re-released, and it's been sat on my shelf, and I will finally get to play because I played 1 to 3, so now it's time to play 4. I tried Peace Walker. I got through the game until the point where you get some of the chips to build your own, not Metal Gear, but their version of that. And then the game went, you now need to do a bunch of replaying to get more. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to grind. Peace out. And then watch the ending. So, but yes, Metal Gear Solid 4. Shenmue. Yep. So I've been saying to a couple of people that even though I have Yakuza 0, I deliberately did not want to try that series because I want to play Shenmue first. Yes, I know they're not the same kind of game, but to me, it feels like Shenmue is the spiritual prequel to these kind of games, like the open world, kind of go off and do things, have an arcade you can go and visit, all that kind of stuff. So I've got the HD collection on the PC, so I'm going to play the first game. So, and then next up, No One Lives Forever 2. So this series is stuck in licensing hell because even though Night Dive would absolutely love to bring this game back to a modern audience, the rights are just tied up between so many different companies. The hope is with the Activision/Microsoft merger is going to make it a lot easier to do, but no word yet on that. but fans took it upon themselves to modernize the game so it'll run on like modern Windows. So yeah, and they're free to download. So I played the first one 3-4 years ago. It was before the 52 game challenge, so the first year I did the 52 game challenge. So, but yeah, I'm finally gonna play 2. Story of Thor 2, also known as like Beyond Oasis 2. So this is the Saturn sequel to the Mega Drive game. So I tried the Mega Drive original on a whim because I've heard it mentioned so much in videos, and absolutely loved it. I don't think it's Yoko Shizuro's best work because the game's from Agent, but I absolutely love the game, and so I've been wanting to play the sequel because it is locked to the Sega Saturn. I hoped to win a Saturn when it was the charity stream by Gordon and Gib84 Gaming, and I did not. Anyway, next up, Headhunter. So people may not be aware of this, but this is a kind of like GTA game for the Dreamcast. It's not GTA. It's not to that level, but it's you. I'm trying to remember what their story is, but it's a guy who has a motorcycle, and I think you're headhunting people. I don't know if that means actually, but yeah. So that's also because I wanted to get a Dreamcast, and I missed out on bidding in that for again when it was the charity stream. But Phoebe Chicken is gonna hook me up with another one. So hopefully then I'll get to play that on original hardware as well this year. Next is Shadowrun on the Mega Drive. So Shadowrun was never released outside of America, so it was Genesis only. So what I have done is I've taken the game, got a fan patch which has resolved a bunch of there were some glitches in there and some problems with the game. It's ironed those out. I've also myself used an editing tool to change some of the starting stuff, like giving you more money to make the start of the game fairer, because it's apparently notoriously difficult when you start the game. You have to play it, do some log grinding at the beginning pretty much. So it's to try and make that a bit easier. And then remove not the region lock, because I don't think it's necessarily region locked. It's that the checksum doesn't there's a checksum check, which means that it won't run on the Mega Drive because it's been altered and all that. So fix that, and I've had the game actually physically reproduced. If you want to wait 1 moment, if I can, yes, and here it is. I need to show it off actually on a pickups video, which I've been meaning to record for a while. But yes, this is a game that was never released in PAL, so never released in the UK. But this is the Bunday edition. Feels like it'll be overkill because the fact that it's because I didn't actually do that much work on it. A lot of it I didn't physically do the repro of it, and I didn't do the majority of the hacks that were done to the game, but still. Anyway, then we've got another Mega Drive game, Brave Battle Saga. So game that showed up on a I can't bother to get the shelf. So this is a official re-release or first time release in PAL territories or the West of a Taiwanese game that bootleg game. So it's been, I say officially translated. It was a fan translation, which then the creators were then paid for by the Pixel Heart, I think it was, and who then got the rights to sell the game. So that's been set on my shelf. I want to play that. Then we've got Saints Row on the 360. So this is the very first Saints Row game because I want to get into that series because I've got 2, 3 on Steam, and I've been holding off on playing those because I want to start the series for the first game. And then the last game is Unreal. That's right, the original, the first Unreal, not Unreal Tournament, Unreal, the FPS that was released back, when Quake was released, for example. So that got delisted from Steam, but I managed to pick up a key for it right before, when they announced that it was being delisted, it was being delisted. So I got a key quickly and then picked that up, so I want to play that. So those are my 10 pledge games, and there are several RPGs on there, so it's going to help towards the 12 RPG challenge. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to do separate videos for those this year like I did the 12 RPG challenge. I might just mention them as I do like game videos. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yes, so Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic 2026.